Every day, the people who cleaned the school found dirty diapers hidden behind the building. This strange thing confused them and made other teachers talk quietly. One teacher looked into it and was surprised to find out that a girl from her class was doing it. But the reason she did it was sadder than anyone thought. When her parents were told, they showed that their family was going through a tough time, but no one knew before. Natalie, a teacher at Silverwood High School, heard about the strange diapers behind the school. She couldn't understand why someone would throw diapers there instead of in a trash can. It was confusing and didn't seem like something a parent would do. Natalie felt sorry for whoever was doing it and wanted to help, so she started looking into it. She asked her class if they knew anything, hoping someone would speak up. Natalie knew she needed proof before accusing anyone, so she came up with a plan. She followed Ellie, one of her students, to see if she knew anything. When she finally saw Ellie in the distance, she slowed down. She had never done something so spontaneous before. Natalie just knew Ellie was hiding something about those diapers. But what could an 11-year-old possibly do with so many diapers? She quietly walked over to the house. She couldn't just ring the doorbell. She had to find a way to peek inside, but sadly, all the curtains were shut. There was no way Natalie would be able to see inside. "This is a dead end," she sighed, and she began to walk back to school. Once at school, she closed up her classroom, thinking about a way to get Ellie to fess up. The next morning, Natalie went to school earlier than usual. She parked her car in a spot where she had a clear sight of the dumping spot and waited. Time ticked by, and she began to grow impatient. It was almost 8 o'clock, and that was when she had to be inside her classroom setting up for the day. She had been here for 2 hours already, but there was no sign of Ellie. Could Natalie have scared her off? Natalie stood in front of her class, her gaze lingering on Ellie's empty chair. She recalled Ellie's typically quiet demeanor, how she'd sit in the back, often lost in her own thoughts during recess. Natalie watched from the staff room window. Ellie was usually by herself, sitting under the old oak tree while other kids played. Today was no different. Ellie's isolation was like a silent alarm ringing loudly in Natalie's mind. She noticed how Ellie's eyes would occasionally follow the other children, a faint longing etched on her face, quickly masked by a return to her solitary activities. Natalie's heart ached as she thought of Ellie. Her motherly instinct, sharpened by her own journey through motherhood, resonated deeply with the unspoken troubles she sensed in Ellie. Natalie discussed Ellie's situation with other teachers during their breaks. "I've noticed a change in Ellie," she said. The art teacher recalled Ellie's once vibrant drawings turning dull and lifeless. The music teacher noted her waning participation in class. These small yet significant changes in Ellie's demeanor over the months painted a picture of a gradual retreat into her own shell. Arriving at Ellie's home, Natalie's first impression was a wave of concern. The house stood worn and weary, its paint peeling and the yard unkempt. Toys lay scattered, forgotten in the grass. This visual disarray spoke volumes, hinting at the struggles that might lie within. Natalie took a deep breath, steadying her resolve as she approached the door, her heart heavy with empathy. Once inside, Natalie was met with a scene of stark reality. The house was cramped and poorly maintained, with signs of neglect hard to miss. The furniture was sparse and worn, and the walls bore marks of time and disregard. Through a mother's eye, Natalie noticed the glaring lack of basic necessities. The shelves were sparsely stocked, and there was a palpable sense of scarcity. That evening, Natalie sat alone, grappling with the moral implications of her dilemma. Her heart ached for Ellie, and she felt an overwhelming urge to protect her. After sleepless contemplation, Natalie reached a decision. She resolved to take a personal approach in helping Ellie. Natalie noticed Ellie's frequent yet secretive visits to the school's daycare center. These visits were quick, often happening when Ellie thought no one was watching. Natalie's curiosity grew along with the suspicion that these observations were somehow linked to the mysterious incidents occurring around the school. Over time, Natalie recognized consistent patterns in Ellie's behavior. These weren't random acts, but part of a routine Ellie had established over several days. Natalie noticed a telling pattern. A consistent discrepancy in the diaper supplies coincided with Ellie's visits to the daycare. Though indirect, this correlation was too strong to ignore. It suggested a potential link between Ellie and the missing items. Natalie knew that understanding the full context of these occurrences was key to providing the right support. In the solitude of her classroom, Natalie reflected on her findings. She considered the implications of the patterns she had observed. In a quiet corner of the school library, Natalie set a comforting tone. She chose a spot away from the usual hustle, somewhere peaceful. "I'm here to listen," Ellie," she reassured, offering a supportive smile as they settled in. Natalie began to gently probe into Ellie's life. "How have things been at home?" she asked softly, ensuring her questions were open-ended and non-threatening. It was clear that Natalie's genuine concern was having an impact. As Ellie spoke, subtle hints of her burdens emerged. She mentioned being busy at home, her words laced with a hint of exhaustion. Ellie's eyes filled with tears as she explained her actions. Her words revealed a deep sense of responsibility far beyond what should be expected of someone her age. With a mix of fear and relief, Ellie shared her fear of her parents discovering what she had done. She expressed worry about their reaction, not wanting to add to their stress. Natalie's heart ached as she realized the extent of Ellie's inner turmoil. Natalie responded with deep understanding and empathy. She acknowledged the complexity of Ellie's situation, assuring her that her feelings were valid. As Ellie and her parents gathered in Natalie's classroom, the air was tense with anticipation. Natalie started the meeting delicately, acknowledging the sensitivity of the topic. She explained her observations and concerns in a measured tone, careful not to overwhelm Ellie or her parents. The goal was to set a foundation of trust and openness from the outset of this crucial conversation. Natalie gently unveiled the truth about Ellie's actions, emphasizing Ellie's intentions and highlighting the love and responsibility she felt towards her family. Upon learning the truth, Ellie's parents were swept by a wave of emotions. Shock was the first to surface, quickly followed by a sense of guilt for not having realized Ellie's struggles. Gratitude also emerged as they recognized the extent of their daughter's efforts to support the family. These feelings mixed together, leading to a big realization for Ellie's family. Natalie stepped up and got the school and local community involved to help them discreetly. She organized resources to ease their money problems, making sure to respect their privacy. With this help, the family started doing better. They got advice about money, donations of things they needed, and emotional support from neighbors. This fresh start brought hope and thanks as Ellie's family saw how the community could come together to help one of its own. What do you think of Ellie's action? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.